All right, welcome everyone. We're joined by the chosen one tonight. It's a
Wow.
very special
The
occasion. The
Not just
chosen,
any chosen one, the chosen one.
the only
All right.
one.
This ain't Harry Potter. This is Dubs, the chosen one.
Hello.
Yeah.
Are you like a motivational speaker? Chosen one?
Yeah, no, it's unclear what the chosen one's intentions are tonight, but
Yeah.
it's a little scary. We don't know what's gonna
He's a
happen.
figure wrapped in it enigma,
Yeah. So
or a shawl. I haven't
first of
determined which
all,
yet.
if you're
It can be
new,
both.
if you're new to this channel, you don't know what a Gents challenge is. It's traditionally it's a challenge we do on our Discord and our gaming community, where usually we're paired up with each other, and we're supposed to assign our partners games to finish. But every now and then we get a rule change. It was my theme that was picked this time. It was the Chosen One Gents challenge, where basically one person at random would be decided to be the chosen one, and they'll pick everyone's games. So only one person's picking games, and they're picking total, I think it was 32, 34 games this time. What was it? 34 games
Yeah,
altogether.
I had the list up. I think it's shoot.
And it just so happened to land on Dubs. He was the last one to sign up. And of course, the chosen one appears only when he needs to, exactly when he needs
Apparently,
to.
34.
yeah. Yeah, 34 games. That's a lot of games. Well, technically, there were some. We'll go into it. There were some reassignments or double assignments, so it wasn't quite 34 games, but
Right,
there are 34 assignments made by the chosen one.
but the chosen one took his job very seriously. He came out with a very nice looking document.
Yeah.
It's like a scroll that he unraveled for us all. Oh,
Holy
it's,
smokes! There they are. They're the
there it
sacred
is.
texts. There they are. That's the Gents Bible right there. That's holy documents right there.
So all the answers come from one person tonight. I'll say I have my games right here that I was assigned. All right.
My Bloodborne's elsewhere and Cyberpunk. My other game is on my computer, so I don't have nothing to show. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
Just just like all the gifts I have been bestowed, mine do not physically exist, but exist solely on the digital platform of my PSN.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, your games are also
Yeah.
okay.
You know what? That's another thing. It's unprecedented for the first time in Gen Challenge history that someone assigns their own games. So,
That was a lot. Yeah,
that's what
that's
they did.
actually pretty, pretty freaking sweet.
All right. So, Dubs, we'd like to hear from you. What were you thinking going into this, and how did you feel about your identity being revealed as the chosen one?
Well, I had a feeling that I'd be picked for the chosen one, which
Of
is
course.
why I entered the last minute. As all great chosen ones, I was fighting my destiny for quite some time.
He fled. Oh, you're the Paul Atreides. You were fleeing your destiny for too long.
I thought to myself, man, I don't know any of these games. I don't want to have to decide them for people. It's gonna be me if I go. So I neglected to participate until a day or two before, where I and for some and I just felt called to stay up just a few extra minutes when I really should have gone to bed for work and see what the list was, and seeing it, the wheel that you made scroll and just
We just
very
passed me.
subtly end on me.
We just passed me, and
With
I
a
think Kingdom
second,
Hearts boy. I think too.
the second left, I just saw that it was about to be a sliver into my name, and I thought, of course, this is as it has been willed.
Well, here's the thing. We actually talked. Me and him actually talked because I was playing Resident Evil 4 recently, and I've been streaming all those games to him. I've talked about this a few times on here. But
Do you like that game?
he said to me, "Well, Zach's gonna have to find out about that game. I heard it's pretty good."
Yeah, I've heard the same as well.
Yeah. But yeah, you even said to me, I was like, oh yeah, signing up. And he's like, yeah, I'm looking at signing up, but man, I don't know. It's gonna be a lot if I'm the chosen one, because and I was like, why? And he was like, because like I don't know any of the games, and I was like, oh, okay. You actually put a lot more thought. He was like, I'm not like you. I don't know like all the games for everything. I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know every game, but So this is why this is a more wholesome chosen one. He doesn't have like he doesn't have all these preconceived notions of everything. He had such he had
I
to like
rose
go
to
through and
greatness.
really
I was not born in
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's there you go. So he had to like do his research, you know.
Alec,
Well, this is the.
yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I have to always see to you.
This is why this is why I was hesitant, because I knew that to me it would go against the spirit of the chosen one challenge if the games were chosen without reason.
Mm-hmm.
Every game
Okay, well, yeah,
should
there you
have
go.
had some sort of purpose, to some sort of mission to impart on the person, and it's very hard to do when people have lists of 45 games that are all named Kent Brockman's 33rd Sanctuary or something.
Oh.
What?
Like you exactly.
Did you just come up with that on the spot? I don't even know what the
Yeah,
hell you just said.
I did.
That's amazing.
Kent Brockman's
And-
33rd Sanctuary, Alec.
It will.
All right.
It
well,
has
that's
been
our next-
manifested. We shall see
That's
it
gonna be-
hopefully in the next 20 years.
That's gonna be a video game someday. Yeah. It's just
The first thing I did when I was picked as the chosen one was because the problem for me also with these Gents challenges, especially with this time around where my list is significantly smaller, thanks to the imposter one I had participated in last. I went through 3 games instead of 2, and then since then I had completed a few more, so my list was actually getting a lot smaller, and most of my list personally involves things like Ni no Kuni, Breath of the Wild, and every other game that takes roughly 200 hours.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
I didn't want to do that, because it would put me in an impossible situation of you can't simply just have 400 hours to spend in 2 months. Also, I didn't want to have to rush through a game that I was looking forward to enjoying. And so I always limit my list to maybe 1 or 2 long ones, in the hopes that they both don't get picked. And so with that thought in mind, the first thing I did when I became, when I was realized into my full potential as the chosen one,
Yeah.
was I made a declaration that if any were requesting mercy due to complications in their lives, such as moving or other games coming out, which is something that my partner in the imposter challenge had happen. I spent quite a bit of time making a fun theme. I believe you talked about it in your show. No one figured it out. No one figured
it out.
Neither did he, because he quit halfway through the challenge because he
Yeah,
wanted to play
Rusty-
something else.
Rusty,
Which is-
he just released
which
his
is-
100 platinum video, 100 Road to 100 Platinums video. Though I highly recommend you.
Which
go
is
watch
why I punished him
I punished
in
him
my
most
divine right.
severely.
with Epic
dear.
Mickey 2, The Power of 2.
It was
He's
almost
gonna love that game. He's gonna love that game, though.
yeah.
I guarantee you.
Yeah, at the same time, yeah, it's like even if that was the punishment, you also gave him Fable Anniversary, and he loves Fable games, so not too much of a. You're still merciful.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Truly
I
benevolent, even in punishment.
I wished to, in general, give people the opportunity to privately ask for leniency for games, especially because there are certain games. One of the games I picked for myself was one that I was really hoping would be picked, because I am, as the chosen one, occasionally allowed to have nice things, and
This is every so often.
and I will say, I did have one person reach out to me with a very humble request for those reasons, and I will not disclose who that person is.
Whoa.
I think we might know, because I believe they even said in our
Did they?
down below. I think maybe not. I could have swore somebody said that they had said.
One
but-
person asked for mercy in the chat itself, but one person private messaged me, which is
Okay.
the reason I said to do that was because I didn't want certain people to harass or belittle or undervalue
Like me.
them for their
Yeah.
achievements.
Yeah, we need
Yes,
to talk
like me.
about it.
Yeah,
Right
that's so
here
me.
amongst us, we had a non-believer in the beginning.
Hey, I wasn't a non-believer. I was just goading to see what it got.
He was he
wanted
was
to
a belated believer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wanted to
you
see, I wanted to
turned
kind
him
of see
around.
what it. I kind of wanted to see what he'd do, and he kind of smoked me
Yeah,
down
you
a
gotta
little
get
bit.
you gotta get smitten.
Yeah. So after I made that declaration of mercy, a certain let me find him here. A certain scoundrel, Chronolink 91,
Scoundrel.
said, let me see if
And
I
I
can
quote,
find the
and I
words.
quote, here we go.
Yeah, might as well.
I said that goes against the spirit of the challenge, doesn't it? Yeah?
No, that's
You're
not what
going
you
easy?
said.
I said something to that degree.
Also, for the record, I wanted to add, immediately after I was discovered as the chosen, Ninja Pengu posted a wonderful Family Guy GIF meme of Peter saying, "Could you check again?"
Yeah,
And as I saw it, I thought,
he thinks
this speaks to me. I am feeling this as well.
he really thought himself to be
Yeah,
the chosen one.
he thought he was.
He actually had assigned some other people's games as well.
Yeah.
He before I was given the chance. In fact, I will disclose that he at one point privately suggested some games for other people to me as well.
Whoa.
Which I did corroborate with those people with the knowledge that if he was lying, he would be smote down.
He would be
his games were picked last because I wanted to give
right.
the opportunity to take him down. But let me see the exact.
Take him down. Ninja Penguin does need some smackdowns every once in a while.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We love him. We love him though.
So the exact words you used, Chrono,
quote.
were "boo." Pick all of them yourself. So the first words spoken to the chosen one were "boo."
Yeah,
to
it was
which-
a non-believer. There you go.
To which my prophet Zach did
The most
declare,
venerable Zach.
smite this man for his influence and insolence.
Yeah, that.
You do need to be smart for your influence too.
Smut,
To be fair,
There's a lot
You're
of smut on my list.
your channel is doing quite well. You are reaching a few too many people. It is important
Going to
to
my
keep
head.
you humble.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to my head. A lot of
It really is. And so thus, luckily, it was easy for me because foolishly, 2 of the games on your list were 2 games that our mutual friends Josh and Tara had been trying to get you to play for many years that you had just been ignoring.
to a
And
degree.
also, they were both long and difficult.
To a degree. I mean, I'd already played Bloodborne with them, and Cyberpunk is a game that Josh has only more recently been kind of excited about after they fixed it. So I would say
He
Bloodborne.
liked that game before they fixed it.
He did like the game before they fixed it, kind of,
Mhm.
but he also was mad at CD Projekt Red. So
I will say that even if I had the ability to demand that you get all endings for both games, I would not have gone
Yeah.
so far.
yeah, no, that's
Considering
like
that I
completely
don't believe
infeasible.
Josh has gotten all the games for 77 yet. I might have made you do the Bloodborne though. I will say
That one's like
but-
harder. That's harder than the Cyberpunk one, probably.
No, you just play the game 3 times. It's easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
But luckily I had that, and those also conveniently were the 2 hardest and longest games on your list, so it was quite easy to smite you down.
They were.
Also, I am more familiar with you than my other disciples, and so thus when you spoke out in your blasphemy, I was able to very quickly determine through your list, which luckily for me was also as small as mine, unjustifiably.
I'm trying to keep it. I want to try to keep it a little. I've got games coming out this month and next month.
So that was fair. That was fairly easy. I did have a different naysayer afterwards who then recognized your ability to jump into the games and specifically just wrote the word bias. That person, I believe, might have come to regret that decision.
Who is that? Who is? He's biased because I know you. You're my
That
friend.
was Scholar Soul.
Soul. Okay, Johnson.
I said I assigned him 999 and Castlevania 2. With 999, I explained that if he did want to, because that was one of the things I did as the chosen one. I not only did I pick the games, I explained why to each of the chosen.
There's a
disciples.
whole document here.
But I explained to him that when I had performed 999 for the Gents challenge, you convinced me that it did not count unless I got the true ending. So if he truly wanted to experience...
you don't beat the game. You don't really beat that game until you get the true ending.
So if he truly wanted to experience the bias that you have, he must live up to your standard. And I told him as such, and thus said that I don't consider you have beating that challenge unless you get the true ending. And then 999,
but he's a scholar, so we know he's a good reader, so he might get through that pretty quickly.
999 or Castlevania 2, I picked because I don't believe most people like that game.
It's kind of had its ups and downs. I think it gets a lot of hate, but it's actually not really that bad of a game. It's just
the chrono bias is I made your time more difficult than it otherwise would have been, so I thus must do the same for him. But I did have one true believer.
From the get, well, Zach was a true believer, wasn't he?
Zach was a true believer, but I had a true believer above all, even the others.
Wow.
The wonderful Orion 99 Alpha,
I don't remember a little bit.
Who said, "Not to throw myself at your mercy or anything, O chosen one, but whatever you ask of me, please do not ask me to platinum anything.
Yeah.
I will immediately throw in the towel." And then he made some sort of vernacular statement I don't understand.
Wait, what?
Yeah, wait, hold on. I'm gotta get back through. I gotta get back through Discord now. What are you talking about? Immediately throw in the towel? Is that the vernacular you were referring to?
No, that's what I said.
What vernacular? I'm trying to see what... Wow.
After he talked about the towels.
No rush. Zach, are you as confused as me?
I was begging you looking. Do I have to look too?
Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about. I will immediately throw in the towel. LOL? Are you talking about the LOL?
LOL.
That's the vernacular?
The Chosen is too far above in the realms beyond in true gaming to understand such
LOL. Okay.
All that
phrases.
for LOL.
All that for LOL. Wow, I'm glad.
It would have been funnier had you understood it faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very funny joke, chosen one.
Yeah,
Very
hilarious.
good.
Yeah.
But he in particular was very lucky to have earned such mercy from me, because I don't know what possessed him to think putting Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3.
That was my same thought too. I was like, I want to give him Kingdom Hearts 3 and some other game.
Yeah, it's like either give him both and make him play 400 hours, or give him 3 because you're evil.
Long. They're not that long. Those games aren't that long. Kingdom Hearts 2 is like a 35-hour game, and 3 is like even shorter. So.
But I gave him 2, just 2,
Okay.
and made a point to explain to him the mercy, simply for the sole purpose that he does not do something so foolish again.
Because Zach and I actually talked about that ahead of time. Like because we saw that, and we even joked, like, can you imagine just giving him like Kingdom Hearts 3 and that's it?
There have been a couple of times where people will put 2 sequels and they're assuming if someone wants me to play this, they're gonna use both of the games to make me play both of them. But no, there's never been anyone who's actually taken that and been like, play the one that comes after it.
To be cruel.
Yeah. Almost like it could prevent him from getting Supreme Gen, essentially, if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, if he doesn't want to break the order, or it forces them to actually play 2 games for one, for the price of one.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, that one. That was the only list where I thought, like, even with the Castlevania 2, I thought, maybe you're seeing something I'm not seeing. But then I saw that Orion's Lifts. I saw that and just thought, what are you doing, man? Like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, see, different shows, less merciful chosen ones could have definitely done something there. I mean, there's plenty. That's the whole beauty of it. That's the whole beauty of it, is just the chosen ones. That's the tone here. I might have gone a more chaotic route.
I for the most part, my strategies were relatively consistent. I either picked games that for a purpose, such as to punish the heresy of this one,
Mhm.
or for because I know the game and feel that they will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or in the case of the Rebel of the Rebellion, I thought it was very funny that he had Ocarina of Time and Skyward Sword on the same list, and thought, why don't I have him be the deciding word on whether or not Ocarina of Time really is the best Zelda game, and the final deciding word on whether or not Skyward Sword really is the worst Zelda game.
I disagree with both. I don't think
Me as
Ocarina of
well.
Time is the best or Skyward Sword is the worst. But it's funny.
I-
Yeah, I also in a previous Gens challenge, it was like a backlog ballot one. I ended up with Wind Waker and Skyward Sword were my two. Just they're the highest voted ones. I never got around to doing Skyward Sword, but yeah.
And
Yeah, I too would disagree. That I would probably say Phantom Hourglass might be the worst Zelda game. Do you even count Triforce Heroes? I guess you have to. It is a Zelda game technically, but I've never even played that one. So
where is the line drawn? Where is it? Adventures of the CD-ROM one?
no, those don't count. Those do not count. Those are not made by Nintendo. They were made by Philips.
And then I also would pick games that looked like things I might want to play, so that I would not have to buy them, and could simply learn if it is worth buying them from the person.
I guess.
Yeah. Is it you also had an overarching Resident Evil?
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
lot of Resident
that-
Evil.
Well, that was very incidental. And I realized that halfway through. I went down the list in order of people making their submissions, and the first Resident
Except
Evil
for me.
was
Yeah. Special exception.
Yeah, I was the special exception to the rule.
well, you yeah.
I needed to be made. I needed to have been made an example of. So
Yeah, yes. And I am quite glad at the successful example that did make.
yeah,
But yeah, first was the scholar Holy Hand Grenade, who I really wanted to talk about Drone Punk. So
I'd be surprised if he even knows what that is, even when he.
well,
Gets to it.
I can explain it to him at some point if he wishes to learn more. But in Code Veronica, Alec and I have been going through a lot of the Resident Evils, and when we played Code Veronica, there's a sequence in a plane where an alarm goes off, and it sounds very interesting, like not like a standard alarm, both annoying but also beautiful, and
very rhythmic. It's very rhythmic.
and there was this wonderful twerp in that sequence named Steve, and that made us inspired to invent a genre of music called drone punk that he performed. Yeah. Yes, drone punk involves that music as the background, and then occasionally says words like the government or oppression. And we just spent 30 minutes building an album of that, and it was wonderful, and I wanted him to experience it for himself. And
he probably wouldn't even realize what that is still, but I hope so.
Resident Evil 5 I assigned because it's my favorite one. It's the one that I first played with Alec. We had a wonderful time in that game, and it is some of my favorite memories. Like when we fought there's a truck sequence, or not after a truck there's a sequence where you're in a truck that they forgot how to turn on, where you have to fight against a giant monster that on the professional difficulty, it did not matter that we had unlimited ammo on the best guns in the games going into it, because you can't use them. And that took us a 4-hour session, a 2-hour session, and then I think another hour to complete, during which time both of us became completely insane.
it took a
inventing
lot
short.
out of us.
Like if you came into the last part, you would have one of us screaming "shoot the mans" and the other person knowing 100% what that means. Like it actually like
Rock,
it.
shoot the mans.
Yeah, rock, shoot the mans. I can't shoot the mans. Then or some of my favorites where in the professional difficulty of that game, somebody breathing on you will kill you, which is unfortunate because as the cutscenes will show, there's a lot of hyperventilating in that game. Now the there are many sequences where one of us would pull out usually me, I would pull out the first aid spray or I'd hit the button for it, but the death animation triggers as I hit the button, and so it is too late, and you are treated to Alec's character Sheva falling face first dead into the ground as I spray first aid on the corpse like I'm Febrezing it.
It's one of the best things in the world. It's like, no!
No, it's just... and then pause. Sheva!
Sheva!
And I wanted to share that with him.
It's pretty amazing.
And then frankly, the fact that we have shared so much Resident Evil and you have not even played 4, the original, is a travesty that I need to correct immediately.
Oh, the original version of 4. Yeah, Resident Evil 4.
So I assigned you
the first one. The first one.
So I assigned you 4, and then the one that came up next was Luke, which is one I was very proud of because he had said that he was a lurker in the chat and just on the server in general and had not participated, and he wished to take the opportunity to participate in this Gents challenge so that he could get to know people. And so I assigned him Resident Evil 2 in the knowledge that I had previously assigned quite a few Resident Evil games, and that would give him an opportunity to talk to others about it.
It's a great game.
Yeah, Luke is my IRL friend actually too. I'd invited him just recently. He joined like right before this challenge, not long before this challenge.
Oh yeah, and then of course Mr. Kingdom Hearts boy. No wonder he's a scoundrel. His name is Mr. Kingdom Hearts boy, and he has not played Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty. Honestly, I loved. That was one of the things that I thought was very entertaining about just all the writings was how the it's outrageous and unfair.
Yeah.
I got real,
I forgot I said that.
I got real episode 3 vibes from that.
The words were chosen.
Yeah.
And then for myself, I actually had spoken to Alec separately that I was the hardest one to pick for. I couldn't decide whether or not to pick something easy for myself, or something incredibly difficult to show an example. I also kind of did want to finish Dragon Quest XI. It's why I assigned it to somebody as well. And so I thought a middle ground. I really wanted to play Psychonauts. And then I went with Prototype because Alec, in our own spare time, Alec has been hounding me to start Kingdom Hearts 3 myself. And I don't have much space on my PS4. So when I get those games done, that will free up space.
Yay!
And one was about causing chaos in the real world, and one was about causing chaos in the mind.
There you go. A lot of chaos.
Yeah. And then about an hour in, Psychonauts crashed, and I thought, yeah, all right, I deserve this.
And frankly, I thought this. Okay. I will say, thanks for giving Boss Chaz something difficult in there. We throw him shade all the time.
No,
it's
like, well,
he probably hates us.
Well, Josh Prep mostly, but
both
Josh
of them
Prep
too. Yeah,
both of them they're known for the get supreme every time. So I'm like, I really want to give them something challenging, is what I would have wanted to do. But they actually did include. They were generous and included a couple of long games in their list. So
yeah,
opened the door for it.
It did, and hey, there you go. Dragon Quest XI is a pretty beefy game.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to beat that and a whole other game just to get his supreme again.
Yeah, Penny's Big Breakaway. Also, that's another good choice, I think. Our previous guest we had on Blinkoon.
Oh, I forgot I
he's
gave you Hogwarts Legacy too.
he's a big fan of Penny's Big
The
Breakaway.
sequel,
I know.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy dose.
Yeah. So, Alec, how do you think you'll fare in this challenge with the?
I mean,
games
it's
in the
gonna.
challenge?
I'm gonna be real, Zach. It's gonna be really hard. And the reason that it's gonna be really hard is because the final shape is coming out literally tomorrow. Probably the last Destiny expansion.
Oh
So
Lord.
I'm gonna put my due diligence into that. I've already been doing some prep work for it. I have, however, already started Cyberpunk as well. I haven't gotten to any actual like real gameplay yet. I'm like in the tutorial for the shooting mechanics currently, but I like fell asleep last night when I was going to be playing it, and
I have expected
so
you to
I
say
played
that you
about-
fell asleep on character creation, but
No.
you were still talking about how you were playing
no.
the game.
Oh no! I finished that though. That was a lot of fun. I spent probably a good 45 minutes to an hour on that, so that was a lot of fun. And,
I've been there though. Actually, fallen asleep during a character creation. I've definitely been there.
There was a game. I think it was called Brink. It was like a multiplayer game on like the 360, and that had like one of the best at the time. That was like one of the best character creation games I've ever like. It was just a character creation simulator as far as I'm concerned, because the rest of the game was ass, but that part of it was awesome.
I can't do the super detailed character creations anymore. I'm like, I did not have the patience to go through all these details, change my nose shape and how gaunt my face is. I'm like,
I loved it because like it's a with this one it's like a bunch of presets. There's not like tons and tons and tons of little like minutia that you can like curve it. Like
Mhm.
you don't have to you can make people that look freakish, but they're
Mhm.
all like preset sort of like you have like anywhere between like 1 and like 15 or even sometimes like of 30, 40, 50 options, but they're all like pre-made presets. So, and I think the reason for that, my guess is so that like if in the case that there is some facial animation they need to show, it doesn't look it might look freakish, but it doesn't look like unreasonably freakish, I guess. So,
so will you be
Yeah.
a gent?
I think I can at least manage being a gent. Yes, Supreme is going to be very difficult, but
Got his ass.
Well,
I'll give it
You are
a shot.
you are unfortunately boxed in from all angles, it seems, especially when you have a Destiny expansion coming out that you're interested in, because Cyberpunk is difficult because of time,
Right,
but
in
Bloodborne is
addition,
difficult.
because it's hard. Yeah. I mean,
I-
I've made probably a good almost about halfway through the game before, so I kind of know like the general like ebb and flow of the game pretty well at this point, because I've played through various amounts of it for probably a good 20, 30, 40 hours already. But yeah.
I had assumed that if you were to fail one of them, it would be Bloodborne, simply because if you can't beat it, then there's not much you can do. Like you can invest more time in a game, but if it's one that's just too hard, then there's not too much you can do.
I mean, I'm kind of a natural at the Father Gascoigne fight. I've yet to die once to him, so and I've done that boss fight 3 times at this point. So
You probably shouldn't
We'll
have said
see.
that out loud.
I already said it out loud in the video that we did earlier, and a podcast we did earlier this year, where we talked about games that we were looking forward to trying to beat this year before the game's done, before the year's over. And Bloodborne was one of the games, so so I would like to try. There is also the whole thing that my parents are moving in next month, so that's gonna take up a lot of time as well. Dealing with that, helping pack up stuff, so that's gonna zap up a decent amount of my free time as well. So, so it'll be interesting. I don't know. It's gonna be a harrowing time, but
Yeah, I found out today that where I work has decided to start doing 6-day work weeks.
oh, nice.
hmm I mean, they did them before, like they'll be open for a little bit on Saturdays, but they now have decided to take away the comp day, so you just work an extra day
That's all.
Cool.
That's
every other
awesome.
week.
That's great. Love it. That's Hey,
Yeah.
that's just like me. That's just like me. I got to work Saturdays also this time of year too. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I'm gonna be trying to take advantage of they put out a bounty for us where they will give us, if we work half a day, they give us 50 bones on top of our paycheck, and if we work a full day, they'll give us $100 on top of our paycheck. So that's pretty good. That's pretty tantalizing. So I'm gonna try it. I've actually already taken advantage of it last month a couple of times. So
my incentive is that I universally am getting overtime. I'm always getting between 2 and 5 hours of overtime every week.
There you go.
Because I don't know why they don't know how to make schedules, but
Hey, free. There you go. It's overtime. How about you, Zach? Are you gonna be okay on this?
Yeah, I'm going for Supreme Gen on this one. I'm going for Supreme Gen. I think I can do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you. I hope in particular do not have a handicap because yours are hard. Like, you got some long ones.
Well, yeah, I mean they're not like
Resident Evil 4 is not super long.
Yeah, we're talking.
It's long if we're doing what you were doing. To be fair, yeah.
Yeah, I looked up on how long to beat. It says like 15 hours. It says 25 hours for Hogwarts Legacy. My problem is, okay, so first of all, I wanted to start with Resident Evil just because that's the one that clearly you wanted me to play more. But I couldn't find my freaking setup for my GameCube, my cords. So I'm put that on the back burner for now, just so I could start Hogwarts Legacy. But I think I might actually try playing both simultaneously. As risky.
I feel like that's something you could get away with.
That's an Ari Lewis 2011 tactic right there.
But because I'm also, of course, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door came out. It's my favorite game ever.
That came out. I haven't put any time into that. So.
I'm about halfway through that game, but there was no way I was I think Holy Hand Grenade said I got to finish that before I start. I'm not gonna do that because that could eat into my time too much. So I'm gonna do a little overlap. But Hogwarts Legacy, the problem I feel like I will face though is whenever I get a game like Hogwarts Legacy, it's not like I'm just gonna do the main story and that's it. I'm gonna get distracted all the time with these damn hundreds of side quests.
Especially because I do believe there's quite a bit of missable content in that game because time passes. Unless I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Revelio.
It's like Persona except with owls.
There's probably I don't know if I've necessarily heard that. I would guess by that probably what's meant by if during certain story beats you lose access to certain things after that.
Well, yeah, as the story progresses, time goes on, and so
right. Well, Persona is literally you only have time allotted in the game. You can only do this one activity during the day or this one activity during the night. Or the afternoon. So you have afternoon and night to do activities. So you have to choose 2 activities, even though you have between 15 to 20 different things to choose from.
There's not enough room for activities.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there is actually. That's the joy of Persona 5 Royals, that there is in fact room for activities. So.
But just all these side quests are gonna really shoot up my playtime on that. So that's gonna be the challenge.
Are you going to be a Hufflepuff?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff, like I predicted.
Well, I did. So previously, I played about 4 hours of this game. That's about it. So I just started again, and I believe I get the same house I always get. I've gotten repeatedly every time I take the thing, and that's Ravenclaw.
Which is interesting. That's interesting.
So
I've gotten Slytherin a lot. I don't know what I am now, though.
So I went with that.
We took the quiz. What did I don't even remember what I got. Do you remember?
I think most of us got Slytherin. I just remember specifically, if you're talking about the Pottermore quiz, that when that came out and that was a huge thing in college.
Remember we did it for the channel again.
I remember that we were all doing it and having a lot of fun, and Chris was super excited about Pottermore until he took it and found out that he was a Hufflepuff, and he's just like, "This is a dumb website anyway," and just stopped caring about it. And we're all just
Hufflepuffs clearly have the most fun. So
it's also like, dude, you are a Hufflepuff.
He is a Hufflepuff.
He is a Hufflepuff. Also, the attitude I have, I guess, is when I reflect on that series is Cedric Diggory was a Hufflepuff, and he to me was just as brave as Harry was. The difference being that he valued being a good person over
I was
being
gonna say
brave.
more than Harry did, which is
Well,
actually
if you
kind
look, the people from Gryffindor really do very selfish and hurtful things, even to their friends, quite a bit. Whereas Cedric,
okay, well,
Cedric is somebody that is actually liked.
we get more intimate time with the rest of them, so we get to see more of their foibles. We didn't really get to see a lot of Cedric's foibles. He just seemed like a wholesome, merry young chap, which he probably was, you know. And
Remember
I like
when
Cedric a lot. He's
remember
great.
when Malfoy tied Neville's shoes together, and all the people from Gryffindor were ashamed to be associated with him and didn't help him?
Yeah, it's fun being 11, isn't it?
But that's the thing I think of like Hermione should have been in Ravenclaw, but she valued being courageous more than being smart. Like you see what people like. At least that's the interpretation I gather of. It's what you care about focusing on. Or if you have a very long family line, the hat just gets lazy. That we see that too.
Yeah, sure, whatever he is. Dude.
It's just another Weasley, a Gryffindor. Oh, it's a Malfoy, a Slytherin. Whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, but it also,
The sorting hat's biased against the Muggleborns as well, just because it means like, oh no, I have to work today.
Yeah.
I have to come up with something.
But I
Yeah,
also
work.
like it gives you the option in the game to do that thing where you're like you can, you know, it
just
takes
choose,
into account your input as well. Meaning, just you can just pick another house if you want. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna do that.
You have better be Hufflepuff. Actually, I'm a Ravenclaw. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That if that were true, that would be like
I don't want to just sit in the middle. I want to be up on a tower.
if that were true, that'd be absurd. That you just have like all these C students in Ravenclaw can't get in their dorm because they have to answer a riddle every time.
No, I want to be in the tower. I want
to be in the smart one. I want to be in the smart one.
I want to be in the smart one. See, or you could be down in the dungeons. Honestly, I've seen all the animations of all the like house, like the house entrances. The Slytherin one is like probably the coolest. Honestly, it's super awesome.
I forget which one, but I believe I remember reading somewhere that there's one house in particular that's the best one to pick in the game because it gives you access to an area that none of the others do.
Ooh.
I wonder if that might be the Slytherin because you're down in the dungeons.
No, I think it's actually I think it might actually be Ravenclaw. Yeah. It was something absurd, like something.
Can you go break in? Can you be like, oh, I'm gonna break into your dorm? Probably can.
But I'm excited. I already know I'm gonna love that game. It just was getting the time to play it, you know. And so yeah, I'm hoping for Supreme Gent. That's what I'm shooting for. But we'll see how distracted I get juggling all these.
Yeah, got a lot of juggling to do. But I mean, I will say like Cyberpunk is like it's already my jam. Like I'm already really loving it, even though I barely basically started the game at all. So that's great.
The purpose for me choosing, at least for you, Alec, the purpose for me choosing those games was not so that you would complete them as a challenge. The purpose was to make you actually play them. That was the victory for me.
There you go.
So, assuming that you don't go, oh, I didn't have time, and then just stop playing, at which point there may be some disciples knocking at your door.
Reality. But it's a genuine reality.
The chosen ones will only go so far, unfortunately. These people, they have to have a will of their own a little bit.
Yeah, it's true.
So the people in the past have been like, I mean, I got like a half hour in, and then I was just like, I'd rather play something else. And that's about it. Okay.
Yep.
Free will, the most begrudgingly good thing I could give.
Oh, there was one thing that you. I wanted to comment on one of the things you wrote because it made me laugh. It made me laugh way harder than I thought it was going to. Which I think was what you gave Thanos. You gave him Pokemon White, but you also gave him Psychopath's mandatory happiness. I may struggle with my own happiness, but at least by making it mandatory, hopefully it'll stick.
Yeah.
I was like, "Aw." I was like, "Oh, that's kind of sad," but it made me laugh quite a lot.
I will say there are certain people where I looked at their list and there's like 45 games that I did not recognize.
Is that like the because Psychopass is like an anime? Is that like a visual novel or is it like a?
It's a visual novel, yeah, and then they
Oh,
make it
okay.
into an anime.
Well, no, Psychopass I believe, was an anime already, and then they made a visual. I believe.
Hey,
I don't think it
what
was.
if we
I don't think it was a
what if
visual
we
novel
let
first.
people pick the less optimal parts of the story, directions for the story?
I mean, I think they do that with. There's like a ReZero visual novel that I have. I think it's like they have like dungeon crawling elements with it, but I believe it's mainly a.
Yeah, I think the one that I just didn't know what to do with was Aaron.
He had a lot of long games on his list.
He had a lot of long games, and he also just had a lot of games that I didn't recognize. So I just thought, all right, I recognize Octopath Traveler. Alec talked about he was very excited about the 8 different starts you could have to that game because those are the parts he'd actually get to play.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I gave him Triangle Strategy.
Yeah.
So you gave him the two games made by the same dev team.
Yeah, which I did not. I just did. Which I don't know why he thought I realized that when you look at the description for why I gave him Triangle Strategy.
Who doesn't like triangles?
Also, I will just say in my head, and this is just how it will be, I refer to him as British Thanos.
Because with a U?
Yeah, it's Thanos to me. It'll always be Thanos.
Yeah. He doesn't like that at all.
Thanos.
Or Tiger, as we've had him on our channel before. But, yeah.
Yeah, why... If anyone was going to go by their real name, that's the one I would do. You know, you could just be Tiger. You know, that could be your name.
Yeah, that's a badass name. But
every once in a while, people call me Walter, but...
yeah, no, like in Overwatch that one time. Hey,
yeah,
Walter!
It took me a few seconds, and you had to point out he's talking to you. I'm like, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's like, hey, Walter.
Yeah, Walter's the surname, so like it doesn't.
Sir Walter Dubs. Yeah.
So I appreciated all your commentary and all the effort you put into it. If we ever do a future Chosen One Gents Challenge, you set the bar pretty high.
Yeah, I'll say. I was like, you put way more. I was like, I probably would have just picked them and like gave a little blurb or whatever each thing. But now, if we ever do this again, it's definitely. Like,
I raised the bar by picking them and then giving a little blurb for each thing.
That's true. Yeah, you just in a more organized way. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I mean that's way more organized than most of these schmucks would do, including me. I'm including myself in that.
I don't know if anyone even noticed this, but on the documents, anytime I make a document at work, to like bring home, I'll put like the title on the upper left and the page number on the right, but in the middle always put very small a Dubs production.
Yeah, I did see that.
I did.
Just regardless of what it is, even if it's just for me.
I will also say, so you gave Zach's brother two games that you've played before. I like how you used like your younger years. You represented that with Dragon Ball Z.
His list was hard. He had like 40,000 things. He had a really long. Yeah, he's like, please see attached. I had like.
Please see attached document.
I had 3 documents that I had. I had like one email that I sent to myself of screenshots. I had a second one like as I was going to work, and then I had a third one that was just the Excel sheet, and I had those set up, and I'm like, I have to get him out of the way. He's like taking up all this space on my screen.
Yeah, like in the past, I've done long lists like that. For this one, I narrowed it down to the 10 minimum, and I based it all on the 10 games we wanted to finish this year.
No,
so.
Yeah, that's a good.
I don't like doing that because the bigger your list is, the more likely there is for disaster, such as the
disaster.
Like the longer your list, the closer you get to Orion 99 Alpha, and you don't want to get to that point. You don't want to get to the Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're.
I think he generally curates, and he'll like avoid putting sequels he hasn't done the previous.
So I don't know why he picked the most like story, like lore obsessed, story heavy, like long like the.
Yeah. It's kind of, those games are very silly.
We go through those games in order, and then while we do it, I have to have him explain me what is going on, and then he'll explain to me things that happen in like he'll be like, no, the movie version they made for the game doesn't actually cover everything in the game. Here, we're gonna watch someone play through it because that'll actually cover the whole story. And then he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I'm gonna cut ahead about 12 games to Kingdom Hearts 3. Like even just that by itself is like if I gave him Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3, I'd be doing him a disservice already, because like Kingdom Hearts 3 after Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to make no sense.
It will make very little sense anyway. Yeah. There's going to be
a
lot that's they're going to be like, what's going on? I will. Last thing I'll say on this front is that I do hope Josh Prep plays Resident Evil 5 with somebody, because having played through it solo, the first time I played it, and then having played through it with dubs, you have to play through it co-op. It's just it's such a much better, much more enjoyable game that way. So
it go like if especially because you really do, it's at the harder difficulties, you really need to rely on teamwork, and
even if you're just playing through the first time, it's just more fun, I think.
Yeah, exactly, and it makes it a like tedious, irritating challenge when it should be fun. It goes from the best kind of rock punching simulator to the worst kind of rock punching simulator, and then it's just frustrating.
Yeah, it's true.
Sure. And yeah, I told him specifically to play it with a friend if he could.
Hope he does.
And yes,
if you can.
You gotta.
Not all of my children have friends. I understand this.
Ouch.
Understand this.
And with that, no.
Anything else for us, chosen one, this evening? You gonna bring out a prop, or are you looking around for?
Yes.
I don't know. I was like, part of me wanted to like turn my sheet over and have like a picture of something, but I didn't draw anything. So I hope that this I will say this, it was very rewarding for me. So the people, because I know you post these on the Discord, to the people participating in the Chosen One Gents challenge, genuinely, thank you so much. I spent like a whole day working on that, and I was just doing it for me because I didn't want to do a bad job. Like, at least to my own standards, I wanted to have every game have a reason, and really kind of, to me, do the whole point of the Chosen One justice. But I did not expect the sheer joy and positive reception that list and just the work that I did got, and it really lifted my spirits in a pretty rough week, led to a lot of extra motivation for me. I have been powering through those game crashes on Psychonauts, and but yeah, it meant a lot to me to know that this thing that I put work into meant a lot to you all, and I just wanted to say thank you very much. And it makes me very proud to be, and happy that I was picked to be your chosen one.
Well, and we appreciate that. I mean, this is a tight knit little community. I'm glad when I invited you and other people to it that you were like, sure, that sounds fun. So
I got if I get picked again, or if we do this challenge again, I guarantee you, within like a minute of somebody, you're gonna, like, Zach, you're gonna have to be careful, because within a minute of like a person being announced as a chosen one of those lists is gonna say edited. Like, they're just gonna be like, take off Kingdom Hearts 3. Like,
Rick, we gotta revise it really quick.
Look, I mean, if you're putting it on your list, as I've always said, if you're putting it on your list, because I'll talk with my brother about this and stuff, and he's like, I feel bad giving him like 2 long games. I'm like, if they put it on their list, they know the risk that comes with that, right?
Yeah,
you're acknowledging these are games I want to pick. You picked your list, so it's like,
I mean, I knew full well the what I was doing when I
The
did
thing-
that.
Yeah, the thing that's tough for me always is, again, most of the games that are in my backlog are the long ones. So it'd be nice to be able to put 2 with the hope that
Mhm.
somebody would pick just one. But like, it really does come down to luck of the draw
You
whether or
can't
not
trust
you're with a
these
person who
folks.
like.
You can't trust him. Can't trust Ninja
Yeah,
Penguin.
which is
That's for sure. Or Ninja Pengu, whatever he wants to go by now.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he forgot how to spell the rest of his name, I guess.
He would have been a true chaos chosen one. I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
what
he would have.
happened.
His would have been. His would have been.
You gotta play
His would have been
Fortnite.
rough.
And,
I mean, yeah,
you
like
gotta
he.
you gotta get a #1 on Fortnite. That's what you gotta do to succeed.
Yeah. But hopefully everybody's challenges go well. Zach, I wish you good fortune with your games, and Alec, I wish you good fortune with that and Destiny. Hopefully, hopefully it turns out better than I believe the last time. Which, if I'm remembering correctly, a similar thing happened where Destiny came out and you missed the challenge. You didn't finish the challenge because of that, and you also were miserable playing Destiny. So hopefully you at least have fun
I
with whatever
hope that's
games
fun.
you end up playing.
I just want the story to be good. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for. Just let the story be good. That's
No.
all I want at this point.
He said no. No, it is decided.
Yeah, no. It I don't.
I mean,
I don't even have to I don't even have to manifest it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's just,
But yeah. And I mean, one of the things that I got excited about first getting into these challenges was hearing Alec talk about failing some of them. Like a few times before he asked if I wanted to participate, because it's just like, oh, okay, so the world doesn't end if you fail.
Yeah.
Especially because he
I mean, that
has
would
a
be-
channel
I don't
talking
know.
about it.
I don't know how I'd go on with my life if I,
Yeah.
you know, if the world ended if I failed.
As you know,
challenge.
Alec is our champion of failure.
If the world ended if you failed the challenge,
You know,
if the world ended if you failed the challenge, you wouldn't fail it. But that's not a world that's fun to live in. And I guess that's the thing for me. Like
imagine if there were so many arbitrary rules on like each thing, like a challenge, like a random challenge of forum. Well, I don't know, that Discord server made this challenge up, and like, you know, this happens for like thousands of people.
Yeah. Well,
like Squid Game, except run by Twitter.
that's just what I was thinking. See, you can't have your Gents or your Supreme Gents without your Rascals, so that's the beauty of it. You know, if everyone was succeeding every time, it would be like, okay, well, I guess it's kind of like a different challenge at that point. But it's like the idea.
We gotta
that
have the
people are
failures so
failing,
that the
yeah.
challenges don't get harder.
That's true. That's true. And we still, some of these people have yet to crack, and they may never crack. You know, I don't know how they do it. You know.
Yeah.
Boss Chaz is a perfect streak of all the ones he's participated in. Supreme every time. Josh Prep was Supreme like all but the first time he was the Gent way back when, but he's been streak ever since. My brother has never been a Rascal, and he's participated in every challenge we've ever done. So
I at least have never been a
Impressive.
rascal. I'm still living in regret from that first one, but which is why the Psychonauts thing shattered me so much, because that gave me flashbacks.
yeah.
The video, I was even the video of the SpongeBob one where that crap that actually broke me as a person. And then I come on, I'm actually falling apart, and Zach's like, "I finished your game too. You suck." Like, and it's just like, you know, like.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn how to take some for the team. You know, you would know. You're the chosen one. You know how to take one for the team. So
The chosen one knows how
Yes.
to take one. That's what I've always said.
Yeah, I am. I am hoping to show myself as the chosen one more through how I execute this challenge. But hopefully I can live up to that desire with work deciding that human resources is to take the resources away. But
yeah,
you know,
They call it that.
hopefully, and and I hope everybody has a great time.
All right. Well, is there anything you want to plug for people to check out?
Um,
I don't like that.
Probably not. No.
Oh.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
just a guy. He doesn't need to plug anything.
It's not just the
I,
guy.
I don't have.
Yeah,
I don't have a
sure, he is.
channel.
Yeah, he's just the chosen one. That's all.
Yeah.
He's humble, you know.
Yeah.
Watch the Netflix adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where you see the other chosen one.
Oh, why the Netflix adaptation? Why not just the normal one?
Because they'll look better.
You'll look better from
In
that
comparison.
Yeah.
in comparison.
All right. How about what video would you recommend our viewers watch on our channel?
Well, I always tell people to watch the card openings. As somebody who actually plays a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, it's fun to figure out what each card is supposed to be. Don't only watch those because then you'll have no idea what the cards are referencing. But
we try to explain it a little bit, but
we need to do better at that.
Also, it's just fun. Any videos where they're just answering questions like those 50 question ones, or just even talking about their favorite games. It's the most fun just seeing them both be real people and seeing their reactions, not to like a movie they saw or anything, but just most of all just things that as they relate to them specifically. Like they can review, like you can review something, but when you talk about like your favorite game, you'll talk about it in a way no one else will. And those are just really fun and genuine videos. Also, there was a Gents challenge a little while back. There was a really cool guest star in that one. Maybe start with those videos.
okay.
You're talking about the one with Pestro way back when. Yeah.
Yeah, the Pestro.
No.
Ouch. Ouch.
Anyway, yeah. So.
So profound, as always.
Well, there you go.
Thank you.
There you have it.
All right. As always, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and if you do, be sure to read it in the next episode of the Tarqaron podcast. Hit the notification bell, check out our social media below, and take care of yourself most of all.